It was this country's longest combat mission since the Second World War. After the terrorist attack in New York City on September 11th, 2001, Canada was one of the first countries to step up. More than 40,000 Canadian military personnel became involved in the fight against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. And Canadian snipers not only helped secure those men and women on the ground, they broke records for the longest sniper kills in history along the way. Although Canadian military snipers tend to keep out of the spotlight, a book is now out with some of their stories told firsthand. Send It, Canada's Snipers at War in Afghanistan, is co-authored by former sniper Barry Nisbet. We joined Barry on the range to learn more about the work it takes before getting that perfect shot. And it's a lot. We'll show you that one next week on the show. But first, here's our chat with Barry Nisbet near the range just outside of Toronto. Barry, thanks so much for sitting down, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
From soldier to author, why was now the right time to write a book?
The original idea for the book was brought forward by another author, Mir Baumann. He wanted to write a book on Canadian snipers because it hadn't really been done before. We felt that we needed to tell a complete story about snipers, not just a lot of what is out there in the media or Hollywood, which is just the sniper taking that shot, and there's so much more.
Okay, well, let's talk about what does popular culture get wrong about snipers?
I don't know if it's so much that they get wrong, they just don't tell enough.
Okay.
How does the sniper get into that position that he's in to take that shot? What happens after that shot is taken? And that's a lot of the stuff that you don't see.
Barry, I want to go back and talk about natural innate skills that somebody might be born with that would make them more prone to being a good sniper.
Definitely patience is something, to be a patient person. I think resilience, a lot because of the positions that we're put in. We're in stressful positions for long periods of time. We might be laying on our stomachs for long periods of time. That might sound comfortable, but it's not.
And when you say a long time, what do you mean?
We would at times we would deploy. It might be 24 hours. It might be 72 hours. We could be watching. In Afghanistan, for example, we might be watching a road intersection that gets IED'd on a regular basis. We might be watching for insurgents to be doing that. Or we may be going out the night before a Canadian patrol goes out to provide overwatch, which is another kind of classic sniper mission that we would do a lot in Afghanistan as well.
That doesn't sound like patience. That sounds like a level of mental focus that a lot of people don't possess. How long is the sniper course?
The sniper course, when I did it in 2005, I believe it was 10 weeks.
And my guess is there's testing throughout.
Absolutely. We're tested on observation. We're tested on cam and concealment. We're tested on judging distance. We're tested on a conventional shooting range where we know the distance to the targets. And then we progress to a field firing range where we don't know the distance to the targets and we have to estimate them using a particular mathematical equation and using the reticle within our scope. And a big portion too is stalking, is where...
I'm sorry, stalking?
Stalking.
What? Okay, so you're going to have to explain that one to me.
A stalk is a fundamental skill to be a sniper. We'll have two qualified snipers, much like us, sitting in chairs with binoculars, looking out over a field. And then the sniper candidates will have to start anywhere from usually 1,200 meters back, and they'll have to get within 300 meters of the two people sitting in the chair undetected. So the sniper's job is to crawl in there undetected. When we're in our ghillie suits, we're camouflaged up, and then we would have to make a shot at the end of that.
So you've got Canadian soldiers that are run through the gauntlet of protocol of becoming Canadian snipers. And then you put through the test of war in, say, Afghanistan. And on the other end is this reputation that Canada and our military forces have of being some of the best snipers in the world. Does that reputation stem exclusively from Afghanistan, or does it predate that?
I think it predates that. I mean, one of the best snipers in World War I was a Canadian. It was an Indigenous Canadian. And I think we've always had a tradition of being, well, excellent soldiers. And I think what comes with that is being excellent shooters. So that then you add some of the other skills, like we discussed about sniping, about stalking, about observation, and I think we're proud and we just excel at it.
Well, you and I were talking before that seems like we are turning the page on a certain era in Canada as it relates to how we treat our military, and hearing these stories from you, hearing firsthand from a soldier the difficulty and the dedication required to becoming one of the best at what they do in order to promote Canadian values and protect Canada. Those are the things I think Canadians do want to hear. Those are the things that will bring us that pride in our Canadian Armed Forces that we might have shunted to the side before. And so I'm glad the book's been written.
And I think the book really brings to light what it is a sniper does from the moment they start training to deploying to Afghanistan. And in Gord Cullen, the other co-author, we did 2 tours in Afghanistan as snipers, and that's pretty rare that we were given the opportunity to do that. And it's like you said, it's history, and what we did, if we don't put it onto a page, then it's forgotten, and we wanted to keep it alive.
One of the reasons you said you wrote the book is because it's not all about the shot, right? Everyone gets stuck on that. So tell me about, in your opinion, what's the most important thing that leads up to the shot, and then what's important after the shot?
It could be mission specific, but how do we get there? How do we get into that position undetected? How do we select the position that we're going to shoot from? How defendable is the position? What's the survivability of the mission? There's so many factors that come into play just to get into that position to even be able to take a shot. After you've taken that shot, then you feel vulnerable because now you think they know where we are.
Do you remember the first time that happened to you after you took that shot in actual battle? What did you feel after you took that shot and you thought, I might be exposed here?
I mean, this would have been my second tour in 2010. We were up on a high feature and we were doing overwatch for a patrol, and we'd shot once and then we'd shot a second time. And once we shot that second time, the insurgents were pointing up at the mountain and they knew we were there. So there's certainly that thought of what is going to happen next. But that also comes into our planning. We plan for that.
So did you feel panic at all, or did you just feel this is part of the protocol?
Never panic, because panic serves no purpose in combat. Panic, the training that we do, the mental pressure that is put on us in sniper training, you don't think of it at the time, but it translates into combat.
Yeah. Talk to me about when the elements are against you. Talk to me about the toughest environment in which you had to do your duty.
When you're taking a shot because you're protecting other soldiers, and you know if you don't make that shot, that harm could come to them. It's different if that is not the situation you're in, but many times we were in that situation, and that's the added pressure because you really want to make that. You want to make that shot to save lives. Talk
to me about distances achieved by your group in Afghanistan.
Anywhere from 2 kilometers and under.
2 kilometers. Okay, I mean, that's far. We've been looking back, right? And now I kind of want to look forward. And I wonder what you think the future of the role of the sniper will be in the future of warfare when drones are becoming ubiquitous in war. And we're hearing that in Gaza, that Israel was potentially using sniper drones. Now, we've learned today that there's an element of artistry, there's an alchemy that only a human being can bring to what you have done. So I wonder how you see those two things colliding, technology and the art of the sniper.
Technology has always been important being a sniper. As technology advances, we become better at our job. Drones are scary. I couldn't imagine having been in Afghanistan if there were the drones like there were. But I think we as snipers, we're going to do what we always did, and we're going to adapt. The technology is scary, but the technology is also going to help us as well.
Barry, thank you for today. Thank you for the book. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the story. Thank you for the chat.
Thank you, Ben.